If you dislike clutter, especially after 60, here are 28 things to reconsider keeping in your home. Hello, dear friends. Welcome back to Timeless Wisdom, your hub for practical tips and heartfelt advice that brighten your golden years. I'm thrilled you've joined us today for a special journey. A journey to declutter, rejuvenate, and transform our living spaces into serene, organized havens. Like many of you, I've spent decades filling my home with memories and treasured items. However, often it's the small, accumulated items that stealthily overwhelm our space, complicating our ability to move, clean, or unwind. Sound familiar? Today, I will walk you through 28 items you might no longer need, and I assure you, letting go can be manageable and freeing. We will approach this step by step with compassion and practicality, helping you cultivate a lighter, more radiant living environment. Before we begin, please remember to subscribe and become part of our wonderful, evergreen seniors community. Your support is invaluable, and joining is completely free. Now, let's embark on this transformative journey to a clutter-free sanctuary. Stay with me and let's tackle this together. 1. Coffee table chaos. Why it might be time to let it go. Let's discuss a common fixture in nearly every living room, the coffee table. This piece has anchored living spaces for years. But I have to ask, when was the last time your coffee table was as tidy as you'd like? If your experience is anything like mine, it's probably been quite some time. Coffee tables effortlessly gather clutter. Bills, magazines, half-finished books, remote controls, and even the odd snack plate. Gradually, it shifts from being a table to becoming a catch-all for anything in hand. For us seniors, a cluttered coffee table is more than an unsightly mess. It's a potential hazard. Moving around a table cluttered with items increases the risk of trips and falls. Furthermore, constantly bending over to tidy it up or rummage through the clutter can be tough on your back and knees. Here's a solution I highly recommend. Swap your coffee table for a soft fabric ottoman with built-in storage. It's gentler on the legs if you bump into it, safer for visiting grandchildren, and provides concealed storage for books, throws, or other items, keeping them out of sight and reducing the urge to clutter the surface. What do you think? Is it time your coffee table got a makeover or perhaps a graceful retirement? Stick around as we next address another prevalent clutter culprit hiding right before our eyes. 2. Duplicate kitchen utensils. Simplify your kitchen, simplify your life. Let's move to the heart of the home, the kitchen. Over the years, it's easy for utensils to multiply. Before you know it, you've got 5 wooden spoons, 3 ladles, and a drawer full of mismatched knives. Sound familiar? I've been there too. For us seniors, the kitchen can quickly turn into a maze of clutter, making it harder to find what we need when we're cooking. Here's the thing. Having duplicates might seem handy, but in reality, they just take up valuable space. And let's be honest, do you really need 3 potato mashers or 4 can openers? When our kitchens are packed to the brim, it becomes frustrating to dig through drawers or cabinets just to find that one item we actually use. Here's my suggestion. Do a quick inventory. Pick out the tools you use most often, the ones you reach for every day. Donate the rest or pass them along to someone who might need them. You'll be surprised how much easier it is to cook and clean when your kitchen is streamlined. So, what's hiding in your kitchen drawers? Take a peek and make space for what truly matters. Up next, we'll tackle a big culprit of clutter that's often overlooked. Furniture. Stay tuned. 3. Bulky furniture you don't use. Reclaim your space. Now let's talk about furniture. Those big bulky pieces we've had for years. Maybe it's an oversized armchair nobody sits in, a huge dresser you no longer need, or that old dining table that's way too large for the family gatherings you rarely host anymore. These items may have served us well in the past, but now they're just taking up space, making it harder to move around. For us seniors, having too much furniture isn't just a matter of aesthetics. It's about safety and convenience. A cluttered living area with oversized furniture can make navigating your home tricky, especially if you use a walker or have limited mobility. And let's not forget the frustration of bumping into that heavy coffee table or struggling to vacuum around a massive bookshelf. It's time to ask yourself, do I really need all this? By removing or replacing bulky pieces with more compact functional furniture, you'll free up room to breathe and create a safer, more open environment. Donate what you don't use or pass it on to family. It's a win-win, so take a look around your living space. What's too big or just sitting there, gathering? Dust? Up next, we'll dive into a surprising source of clutter that's been hiding right under your nose. Don't miss it. 4. Old magazines and newspapers. Clearing the clutter. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually read those old magazines or newspapers stacked in the corner of your living room? If you're like me, you probably kept them thinking, I might need this recipe, or that article was interesting, I'll read it later. But let's be honest, later rarely comes, and those piles just keep growing. For many of us seniors, old newspapers and magazines can feel like a safety net, a connection to the past, or a reminder of something important. But in reality, they often become dust collectors, taking up precious space and creating a sense of overwhelm. Plus, they're a hassle to clean around, especially when you're trying to keep your home tidy with less effort. Here's my suggestion. Go through your stacks. Keep a handful of truly meaningful articles or magazines and recycle the rest. If there's a recipe or tip you love, take a quick photo with your phone or clip it out for a scrapbook. You'll be amazed at how much fresher and more inviting your space feels without those piles staring back at you. So, what's hiding in your magazine rack or under your coffee table? Take a moment to sort it out, and let's continue our journey toward a simpler, clutter-free home. Coming up, we'll tackle another sneaky source of clutter that might be hiding in your drawers. Stay tuned. 5. Mystery wires and cords. Untangle the chaos. Let's take a look at something lurking in drawers, behind furniture, or even under your bed. Mystery wires and cords. You know the ones I'm talking about, that tangled mess of chargers, cables, and old wires for gadgets you don't even own anymore. Sound familiar? For us seniors, these wires can be more than just an eyesore. They can be a safety hazard. A pile of tangled cords can create tripping risks or make it frustrating to find the cable you actually need. And let's face it, who has the patience to untangle that spaghetti mess every time we need to charge something? Here's what I recommend. Take an afternoon to sort through them. Label the wires you use regularly. Masking tape and a marker will do the trick. Then get rid of anything you don't recognize or no longer need. Many libraries, electronic stores, or community centres offer e-waste recycling programs, so you can dispose of them responsibly. Once you've pared down your cords, you'll be amazed at how much cleaner and more organised your home feels. Plus, you'll save yourself the headache of rummaging through a tangled pile next time you need a charger. Stay with me. Up next, we'll dive into something more sentimental but equally clutter-prone. Let's keep going. 6. Sentimental Collectibles. Keep the memories, lose the clutter. Now, this one might hit close to home, are sentimental collectibles. Over the years, it's so easy to hold on to trinkets, figurines or souvenirs that remind us of special moments or loved ones. I understand these items can carry so much meaning. But here's the challenge. When our homes are overflowing with these keepsakes, they stop being treasures and start becoming clutter. For many of us seniors, it's hard to let go of something tied to a memory, but the truth is, memories live in our hearts, not in the things we keep. And keeping fewer items doesn't mean losing the moments they represent. It means focusing on what truly matters. Here's my suggestion. Go through your collection and pick a handful of pieces that really make you smile. Display them proudly in one designated spot, a shelf, a shadow box, or a small cabinet. Let them shine without being lost in a sea of other items. Then consider passing the rest on to family or donating them. Sharing these pieces with others can give them new life while creating more space for you. Remember, your home should feel calm and inviting, not overwhelming. What sentimental treasures can you simplify today? Next, we'll tackle another category of clutter that might be hiding in your hobbies. Stay tuned for more. 7. One-time hobby supplies, letting go of what no longer fits. Hobbies, aren't they wonderful? Over the years, many of us have tried our hands at different activities: painting, knitting, gardening, or maybe even woodworking. But let's be honest, not every hobby sticks. Sometimes life gets in the way, or we simply lose interest. What's left behind? Boxes of unused supplies gathering dust in closets, garages, or under the bed. For us seniors, these unfinished projects can feel like a reminder of things we didn't complete, or a source of guilt for spending money on something we no longer enjoy. But here's the thing, holding on to these items doesn't bring back the joy of the hobby. It just takes up space and creates mental clutter. Here's my advice, it's okay to let go. Sort through your hobby supplies and keep only what you're genuinely excited to use. For the rest, consider donating them to schools, community centres, or someone else who might love to give them a new purpose. Sharing your supplies can bring happiness to others and free up valuable space in your home. Remember, a clutter-free home makes room for the things you truly love to do, whether it's a current hobby or simply enjoying a peaceful, organised space. Up next, we'll talk about a familiar culprit that's probably hiding in your kitchen. Stick around. 8. Specialty kitchen appliances. Free your countertops. Now let's head to the kitchen, a place we all cherish. Over the years, it's easy to accumulate specialty appliances like popcorn makers, waffle irons, or that fancy pasta machine you bought with the best intentions. But here's the honest truth. How often are you really using them? For many of us, these gadgets get used once or twice and then spend the rest of their lives collecting dust in a cabinet or cluttering up our countertops. For seniors like us, every inch of counter or storage space is precious. A clutter-free kitchen isn't just about aesthetics, it's about making cooking and cleaning easier. Digging through a pile of barely used appliances to find your everyday tools can be frustrating and time-consuming. Here's my tip. If you haven't used an appliance in the last 6 months, it's time to reconsider keeping it. Stick to versatile tools that you use regularly, like a good blender or slow cooker. Donate or pass along the rest to someone who will actually use them. By letting go of these space-hogging gadgets, you'll create a kitchen that's easier to navigate and a joy to cook in. So what's hiding in your cupboards? Let's move on to another kitchen-related culprit that might be making your home feel more crowded. Stay tuned. 9. Holiday plates and decorations. Rethink seasonal storage. Let's talk about those holiday-themed plates, napkins, and decorations we all love to collect. From Christmas play settings to Halloween serving trays, these items are delightful during their moment in the spotlight. But here's the problem. They only get used once a year. The rest of the time, they're taking up valuable storage space in your cabinets, closets, or attic. For us seniors, managing heavy bins of seasonal items can be more hassle than it's worth. Climbing ladders or digging through crowded spaces isn't as easy as it used to be. And let's face it, those theme plates might not be worth the effort if they're just adding to the clutter. Here's my advice. Focus on neutral, versatile pieces that can be dressed up for any occasion. A simple white plate, for example, can be paired with festive napkins or centerpieces for any holiday. As for the decorations, keep a few meaningful or high-impact items and donate the rest. By simplifying your seasonal items, you'll have more room for the things you truly need and love. What's in your holiday stash that might be ready for retirement? Stick with me, because next we'll dive into another surprising area of clutter that you might not have thought about. Let's keep going. 10. Simplified office supplies. Keep only the essentials. Now, let's move into a space we often overlook, our desks, or that little office nook we've set up. Over the years, it's easy to collect an abundance of office supplies, pens, markers, staplers, paper clips, and sticky notes. But let's be honest, how many of these do you actually use? Dozens of pens that no longer write or piles of notepads you forgot you even had can quickly turn into clutter. For us seniors, keeping things simple is key. We don't need a mini office supply store in our homes. Instead, focus on the essentials. A couple of good pens, a notepad or two, maybe a pair of scissors. Everything else is probably just taking up space. Here's a quick tip. Go through your supplies and test each item. Throw out anything that doesn't work and donate the extras to a local school or community centre. By paring down, you'll create a tidy, organised space that makes writing a note or managing paperwork so much easier. So, what's hiding in your desk drawers that you don't really need? Take a moment to declutter and simplify. Coming up next, we'll talk about an even bigger space saver, one that could transform your home entirely. Stay tuned. 11th, ditch the filing cabinet, go digital and save space. Now let's talk about filing cabinets. If you're like me, you've probably held on to one for years, filling it with all sorts of papers, bills, warranties, text documents, and maybe even an old recipe or two. While it might have been essential back in the day, filing cabinets have a way of becoming a catch-all for things we'll never look at again. For us seniors, managing stacks of paper can feel overwhelming, and digging through folders to find one important document isn't exactly how we want to spend our time. Worse yet, keeping so many papers increases the risk of misplacing something vital or accidentally letting clutter take over. Here's my suggestion. It's time to go digital. Scan and save your most important documents to a secure digital folder. If you're not tech savvy, ask a family member to help. It's a great way to connect and get things organized together. Once you've digitized your paperwork, you'll find that most of the paper in that cabinet can be shredded or recycled. Without that bulky filing cabinet taking up space, you'll have room for something more useful or just enjoy the open space. What papers can you let go of today? Next, we'll explore another everyday item that might be cluttering your kitchen. Stay tuned. 12. Outdated plastic cups. Time to switch to something better. Let's take a look at those plastic cups we've collected over the years. Maybe they're from a fast food restaurant, a family event, or even a sports game souvenir. They seem harmless enough, but over time these cups can wear out, crack, or even leach harmful chemicals into your drinks. For us seniors, prioritizing health and safety is more important than ever. Beyond the health concerns, plastic cups often pile up in our cabinets, taking up space and adding to the clutter. And let's face it, most of us have far more cups than we'll ever need. Do we really need to hold on to those faded, scratched, or mismatched ones? Here's my suggestion. It's time to upgrade. Replace those old plastic cups with durable glassware or stainless steel tumblers. They're safer, longer lasting, and look much nicer on the table. As for the plastic ones, consider recycling or repurposing them for things like small planters or storage containers. Your kitchen will feel cleaner, your cabinets more organized, and your drinks will taste better. Up next, we'll dive into another area where we can simplify for a healthier, clutter-free home. Stay with me. 13. Natural air freshening, a healthier way to breathe. Let's talk about something we all love, a fresh-smelling home. For many of us, scented candles and air fresheners have been go-to solutions for years. But here's the thing, many of these products are loaded with chemicals that can harm our health. For seniors like us, who might spend more time indoors, breathing in those hidden toxins can take a toll on our well-being. Did you know that many candles release chemicals like formaldehyde into the air as they burn? Air fresheners can be even worse, with synthetic fragrances that often mask odours instead of eliminating them. These substances linger in the air and can irritate your lungs, especially if you have allergies or respiratory issues. Here's my advice: switch to natural alternatives like essential oil diffusers or soy-based candles with no added chemicals. Not only are they safer, but they can also create a calming spa-like atmosphere in your home. Even something as simple as opening a window or using a small indoor plant like lavender can freshen the air naturally. Your home should be a sanctuary, free of harmful chemicals. So let's breathe a little easier and move on to the next way we can simplify and improve our living spaces. Stay tuned. 14. Chemical-free laundry, a safer, smarter choice. Laundry. It's something we all do, but have you ever stopped to think about the products you're using? Dryer sheets, for example, might make your clothes smell nice, but they often come with a hidden cost. These sheets are full of chemicals that can irritate sensitive skin, especially for us seniors, whose skin may already be more delicate. Over time, they can also leave a residue on your clothes that breaks down fabrics faster. For those of us who want to simplify and make healthier choices, there's a better way. Wool dryer balls are an excellent alternative. Not only are they reusable, saving you money in the long run, but they also naturally soften clothes and reduce static without any harsh chemicals. Plus, if you enjoy a fresh scent, you can add a few drops of your favorite essential oil to the dryer balls. Making this small switch can protect your skin, extend the life of your clothes, and even reduce the waste that comes with single-use dryer sheets. So, take a moment to look at your laundry routine. Could it be time to go chemical-free? Coming up next, we'll tackle another common household item that might be cluttering your space. Stay tuned. 15. Ineffective bug zappers, a buzzkill for your space. Let's talk about those bug zappers many of us have bought over the years, hoping they'd keep mosquitoes and other pests at bay. At first glance, they seem like a great idea, a glowing light that promises to zap away your bug problems. But let's be honest, how effective have they really been? For many of us, these devices often end up killing more harmless insects than actual mosquitoes. For seniors, bug zappers can become more of a hassle than a help. They require frequent cleaning, and the loud zapping sounds can be both annoying and unsettling. Worse, there's little evidence that mosquitoes are significantly attracted to these devices. They're more likely to be drawn to human scents than UV lights. Here's a better solution. A simple oscillating fan on your porch or patio can create enough airflow to keep mosquitoes from landing. For indoors, a well-placed mosquito net or screen is an easy, chemical-free way to keep bugs out. Not only are these methods more effective, but they're also quieter, safer, and less cluttered. So, if you've got a bug zapper that's been gathering dust or not zapping much at all, it might be time to let it go. Next, we'll explore another household item that might not be pulling its weight. Stick around. 16. Unsafe cookware. Protect your health in the kitchen. Let's turn our attention to something we use every day, our cookware. Over the years, those trusty pots and pans can start to show their age. Maybe your favourite non-stick pan has scratches, or your old frying pan has a warped bottom. While it's tempting to hold on to them for just a little longer, here's why it might be time to say goodbye. For us seniors, safety and health are top priorities. A scratched non-stick pan, for example, can release harmful chemicals into your food, and a pan with an uneven surface can make cooking frustrating or even dangerous if it leads to spills or burns. Plus, older cookware is often harder to clean, making it even more of a hassle. Here's my advice. Invest in a few high-quality, durable pieces that will last. Stainless steel, cast iron or ceramic pans are great options. They're safer, longer lasting, and much easier to maintain. Donate or recycle the old ones to free up space in your kitchen and give yourself peace of mind. Remember, your kitchen should be a place of joy, not stress. What's hiding in your cabinets that might be ready for retirement? Stick with me, because up next, we'll talk about another surprising area where you can lighten the load. Let's keep going. 17. Declutter old tech. Let go of yesterday's gadgets. Let's take a trip down memory lane, back to the days of cassette players, old cell phones, or those chunky desktop computers. If you're like me, you might still have some of these devices tucked away in a closet or drawer, just in case. But let's face it, how often do you actually use them? For most of us, these old gadgets are just taking up space. For seniors, decluttering outdated technology isn't just about reclaiming space. It's about simplifying life. Those old devices often come with a mess of wires and accessories, making it even harder to stay organised. Plus, they're likely no longer compatible with today's technology, so they're just collecting dust. Here's my advice: recycle or donate these items responsibly. Many communities offer e-waste recycling programs, and some organisations refurbish old tech for schools or those in need. Ask your family to help sort through what's worth keeping and let go of the rest. By clearing out the old, you'll create room for the things you actually use, making your home cleaner and your life simpler. So, what's hiding in your tech drawer that you can let go of today? Stick with me. Next, we'll tackle another common source of clutter that might surprise you. Let's keep going. 18. Let go of someday items. Free your mind and space. We all have them. Those items we hold on to because we think, I might need this someday. Maybe it's that old sewing machine, a stack of paint supplies, or even a treadmill collecting dust in the corner. We tell ourselves we'll use them again. But let's be honest, how many years have they been sitting there untouched? For us seniors, these someday items often represent unfinished plans or dreams, and while it's wonderful to stay hopeful, holding on to these things can create mental and physical clutter. They take up valuable space and can even make your home feel more chaotic, especially if you're trying to simplify your life. Here's my advice: be realistic about what you're truly going to use. If you haven't touched something in a year or longer, it's time to let it go. Donate these items to someone who can actually put them to good use. Knowing they're helping someone else can make parting with them much easier. Remember, your home should reflect who you are today, not a version of yourself from the past. So, take a deep breath, let go of Sunday, and make room for the present. Up next, we'll explore another area where less can truly mean more. Stay with me. 19th, fragrance-loaded dryer sheets, a fresh change for your laundry. Let's take a closer look at dryer sheets, those little pieces of fabric we toss into the dryer to make our clothes smell fresh and feel soft. While they may seem harmless, many of these sheets are packed with chemicals that can be harmful, especially for us seniors with sensitive skin. These fragrances often mask irritants that can cause rashes, allergies, or even respiratory issues. Over time, dryer sheets can also leave a residue on your clothes, making them wear out faster. Plus, they're a single-use product, which means they create waste and add to household clutter. Isn't it time to make a change? Here's my suggestion. Switch to natural alternatives like wool dryer balls. They're reusable, chemical-free, and can even reduce static. If you love a light scent, you can add a few drops of essential oil to the dryer balls. Not only will this keep your laundry routine simple, but it will also protect your skin and the environment. Take a moment to rethink your laundry routine. It's a small change that can make a big difference. Coming up next, we'll talk about another area where simplifying can bring more ease and comfort to your home. Stay tuned. 20. Healthy cooking choices. Say goodbye to deep fryers. Let's step into the kitchen again, but this time let's focus on that bulky deep fryer sitting in the corner. For many of us, it might have seemed like a great idea. Homemade fries, crispy chicken, or tempura at home. But over time, it's likely become more of a space hog than a useful tool. And let's not forget, fried food isn't the healthiest option, especially as we get older. For seniors, staying healthy means making smarter choices in the kitchen. Deep fryers not only encourage unhealthy eating, but can also be a pain to clean, taking up valuable counter or cabinet space. Plus, they're often heavy and awkward to move around, adding unnecessary stress to your cooking routine. Here's my advice. Replace the deep fryer with a healthier and more versatile option, like an air fryer or convection oven. These tools can create the same crispy texture without all the oil, making your meals lighter and your cleanup easier. Not to mention, they take up much less space and look sleeker in your kitchen. So, let's make a change for your health, your kitchen, and your peace of mind. What's your deep fryer still doing in your home? Let's keep going, because up next, we'll talk about repurposing some surprising items you probably forgot you had. Stay tuned. 21st. Repurpose hotel freebies. Give them a new life. Let's talk about those little treasures we often bring home from hotels. Shower caps, mini bottles of shampoo, or those adorable soaps. At the time, they seemed too useful to leave behind, but now they're likely sitting in a drawer, forgotten and gathering dust. Sound familiar? For seniors, it's easy for these small items to pile up, especially when we think, I might use this someday. But in reality, how often do you actually use those travel-sized freebies? Keeping too many of them not only clutters your space, but also adds to the feeling of being overwhelmed. Here's my suggestion. Take a moment to sort through these items. Keep what's genuinely useful, like travel-sized shampoos for an upcoming trip, and donate or repurpose the rest. Shower caps, for example, make great covers for shoes in your luggage or for protecting bowls in the fridge. Unused soaps and shampoos can be donated to shelters or community programs where they'll be put to good use. By giving these items a new purpose or passing them along, you'll free up space and feel good, knowing they're not going to waste. What's hiding in your drawers that deserves a second chance? Up next, we'll talk about an area where simplicity meets self-care. Stay tuned. 22nd. Gentle skincare choices. A softer touch for your skin. Let's take a moment to talk about self-care, specifically your skincare routine. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, more sensitive, and prone to irritation. For many of us, old habits like using harsh cleansers or chemical-laden products can do more harm than good. If you've been holding on to those makeup wipes or heavily fragranced creams, it might be time for a change. For seniors, switching to gentle, natural products can make a world of difference. Look for skincare items with fewer ingredients and no artificial fragrances. Things like aloe vera-based moisturizers or mild cleansers. These options are not only kinder to your skin, but also more effective at maintaining its health. If you've been using makeup wipes, consider replacing them with a soft washcloth and a natural cleansing oil. They're reusable, eco-friendly, and far gentler on your skin. Plus, they help you cut down on single-use waste, keeping your bathroom tidy and clutter-free. So, take a peek at your skincare shelf. Could it use a refresh? Your skin deserves the best care, especially now. Stay with me because next, we'll explore another area where simplifying can truly brighten your space. Let's keep going. 23rd. Piggy banks in a cashless world. A new purpose for an old friend. Remember the joy of dropping coins into a piggy bank and watching it slowly fill up? For many of us, piggy banks were a fun way to save as kids, and maybe even as adults. But in today's world, With so much of our spending done through cards and apps, those little piggy banks often sit empty, collecting dust on a shelf. For seniors like us, it's time to rethink their purpose. While coins may no longer be part of our daily lives, these banks can still bring value. Consider repurposing them as a memory jar for small mementos, or even as a decoration that reminds you of simpler times. If you have a collection of them, pick a favourite to keep as a sentimental piece and let the rest go. If you're feeling generous, donate unused piggy banks to schools or community groups. They can bring joy to a new generation of savers. Letting go of the extras will clear space and lighten your home without losing the memories they represent. So, what's hiding in your piggy banks? Or better yet, how can you give them a new lease on life? Stick with me, because next we'll talk about letting go of one more thing that might be taking up too much space in your home. Let's keep going. 24. Old magazines and newspapers. Clear the clutter, breathe easier. Let's take a moment to talk about something that loves to pile up: magazines and newspapers. Over the years, it's easy to hold on to them thinking, "I'll read that article later," or "this recipe looks too good to lose." But if we're honest, how often do we actually go back to them? For many of us, these stacks become a dusty reminder of good intentions. For seniors like us, decluttering isn't just about making space. It's about creating a home that's easy to maintain and comfortable to live in. Those old magazines and newspapers often attract dust and allergens, making it harder to keep the air fresh and clean. Plus, navigating around piles of paper can become a tripping hazard. Here's my suggestion. Go through your collection and keep only a few truly special items. If there's an article or recipe you love, take a quick photo or clip it out to save in a folder. Recycle the rest, and you'll be amazed at how much lighter and brighter your space feels. So, what's hiding under your coffee table or in that magazine rack? Take a moment to sort it out and let your home breathe again. Stick with me. Next, we'll discuss another way to create a simpler, more peaceful living space. Stay tuned. 25th. Bulky furniture adjustment. Create a more comfortable space. Let's talk about furniture, those large, heavy pieces we've held on to for years. Maybe it's an oversized armchair that hasn't been used in a decade, or a dining table that no longer fits your needs. While these items might hold sentimental value, they often take up too much space and can make your home feel cramped and harder to navigate. For seniors like us, adjusting our furniture layout isn't just about aesthetics. It's about safety and ease of movement. A cluttered room filled with oversized furniture can increase the risk of trips or falls and make it difficult to get around, especially if you use a walker or cane. Here's what I suggest. Take a good look at each piece of furniture in your home. Ask yourself, do I still use this? Does it make my space feel inviting? If the answer is no, consider donating or selling the items you no longer need. Replace them with smaller, more functional pieces that suit your current lifestyle and give you room to breathe. By making these adjustments, you'll create a home that's both comfortable and practical, a space where you can move freely and enjoy every corner. Stay with me, because next, we'll discuss another common item that might be cluttering your home. Let's keep going. 26. Unnecessary decorations. Simplify your space with meaningful touches. Now, let's talk about decorations. Over the years, it's easy to accumulate knickknacks, figurines, and wall hangings. Things we thought would brighten our homes or bring a touch of personality. But too much of a good thing can quickly become overwhelming. Instead of enhancing your space, these items can make it feel cluttered and harder to clean. For seniors like us, simplifying our decorations is not about losing charm. It's about focusing on what truly matters. Keeping only the pieces that have sentimental value or practical use can transform your home into a calming, welcoming environment. Think about that favourite family photo. a vase passed down from a loved one, or a painting that still makes you smile every time you see it. Here's my suggestion. Take a walk through your home and ask yourself, does this item make me happy, or is it just taking up space? Donate or pass on decorations that no longer resonate with you. This not only frees up room, but also makes the items you love stand out even more. Simplifying your decor can breathe new life into your home, making it feel both elegant and easy to maintain. Stick with me. Next, we'll talk about another way to reduce clutter and bring a sense of order to your living space. Let's keep going. 27. Unused fitness gadgets. Reclaim your space and simplify by. Let's be honest, many of us have a corner or closet filled with fitness gadgets we bought with the best intentions. Maybe it's a thigh master, a set of resistance bands, or even a bulky treadmill that's become a coat rack. These items seemed like a great idea at the time, but if they're not being used, they're simply taking up valuable space. For seniors like us, staying active is important, but it doesn't require a collection of fancy equipment. In fact, keeping unused gadgets around can create unnecessary clutter and even make it harder to move around safely in your home. Plus, there are constant reminders of things we aren't doing, which can feel discouraging. Here's what I suggest. Take stock of your fitness gear, keep the basics you actually use, like a yoga mat or a set of lightweights. For the rest, consider donating them to a community centre or selling them online. This way, someone else can put them to good use, and you'll free up space for activities you truly enjoy. Remember, your health and happiness don't depend on having every gadget out there. A simple walk or some gentle stretches at home can be just as effective. Stick with me. Next, we'll talk about the final item on our list to help you create a home that's both functional and peaceful. Let's keep going. 28th. Share unused items. Declutter with purpose and joy. Let's finish our journey with a simple yet powerful idea: sharing. Over the years, we all accumulate items that are still in good condition, but no longer serve us. Maybe it's extra dishes, a chair that no longer fits your space, or even a collection of books you've already read. These things might not have a place in your life anymore, but they could be a blessing to someone else. For seniors like us, decluttering isn't just about creating a tidier home. It's about finding meaning in the process. Donating unused items to local charities, schools, or shelters can bring joy to others, while giving you the satisfaction of knowing your possessions are being put to good use. Here's my advice. Start with one area of your home and gather items you no longer need. Think about who could benefit from them: a neighbour, a family member, or a community organisation. Sharing these items not only lightens your load, but also strengthens your connections with others. By giving your unused belongings a new home, you're creating more space for what truly matters, both in your house and in your heart. So, what can you share today? Let's wrap this up and take a moment to reflect on all the ways decluttering can transform our lives. Stay with me for the conclusion: a fresh start with Evergreen Seniors. And there you have it, 28 ways to declutter your home and create a space that feels lighter, brighter, and more manageable. Each item you let go of is a step toward a simpler, more peaceful life. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about making choices that serve you in the here and now. As seniors, our homes should be a place of comfort, not a source of stress. By tackling these small changes, you'll find it's not just your physical space that feels clearer, your mind and heart will feel lighter too. And don't forget, the journey of decluttering is just as important as the destination. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing Evergreen Seniors community. Together, we'll continue sharing practical advice, inspiring stories, and a little motivation to make our years filled with timeless wisdom. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.